Okay, so we're starting the recording now. Excuse me. And now, welcome to day 2 of the Metasploit class. We're going to jump on our pastebin. So our pastebin is still the same. So it's still the same pastebin. But this time, we're going to jump down to here, line 779. What I'd like for you to do is make sure that your virtual machine is running. In this case, we're going to be running more than one virtual machine. You're going to use the Strategic Sec Ubuntu virtual machine from yesterday, and you're going to use your Windows 7 virtual machine. When you log into your Windows 7 virtual machine, password is just password, all lowercase.
All right.
Now, at this point, guys, you don't need to do any updates. If it wants to do any updates, if it wants to do any reboots or install VMware tools or anything like that, for what we're doing, you don't need to do that. So you can just, tell it cancel, tell it no. Hey man, I'm not worried about that stuff right now. Just leave me be. Okay, the next thing that we want to do is we want to turn on the web browser. Okay, in my case, it's saying the welcome to Internet Explorer 8. Let's say ask me later. Or don't want to upgrade to Windows 10. Now what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to put in the IP address of my Linux machine, like this. So my Linux machine is 192.168.10.128, right? And this is what I'm putting in. Okay, you don't need to browse to it, but just have it set up and ready to go.
Yep, set to go.
I don't think it's going anywhere. It
Yeah,
says
not
kind
yet.
of display the page.
Yeah, not yet. We just want to have it set up. We're not going anywhere yet.
Oh.
Okay. Alright, so you got it all set up?
Yep.
Alright, so it's just ready to go, right? Okay, so now that you got that ready to go, what you're going to be setting up is your own Linux machine to be the attacker. And then this Windows XP machine is going to be the victim.
No, Windows XP, Windows 7.
I'm sorry, the 7 machine is going to be the victim.
Okay.
What we want to do, is I want to just copy this line 782. And what it's going to do is it's going to create a text file for me. So echo just prints something to the screen. I'm redirecting that echo of my name into a text file called my name. So you're just creating a text file, that's all that is.
Mm-hmm.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that IP tables flush again. You guys remember doing this from yesterday?
Okay.
Okay. Password is strategic sec. So IP tables, that just turns off the firewall. Now I'm going to do line 786 and 788, and I'm going to start up Metasploit. Okay, so I got Metasploit going. Okay, now all I'm going to do is just put, whoops. Okay, so I got Metasploit going now.
I do have a question. Do I need to use both commands, cd tools, Metasploit, and this MSF console in the same line, or like?
You can do them one at a time, but if I recall correctly, you guys had to put the word sudo right here to make it work.
Oh, there. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now, did you see what I did right here, guys? I grabbed line 790 to 800,
Uh-huh.
and I pasted it into Notepad.
Okay, got it. I saw that.
The only reason I did that is just I'm going to make a real fast change. I don't need this right here. See this, how it says, make sure you change this to your Ubuntu IP address?
Right.
I don't need that, and then I'm going to change it to my Ubuntu IP address. Now, the way I can quickly find my Ubuntu IP address is in here. This is my Linux Ubuntu IP address, right? So this is what I'm getting ready to paste into my Linux command prompt.
Okay.
So if we look here, it says use exploit. Yesterday what we used was an auxiliary. So it's use exploit. Okay, the exploit is for Windows. What it's going to be exploiting is a web browser. So because it's a browser-based exploit, you're going to be turning Metasploit into a web server. So you turn Metasploit into a web server. When it serves up the buffer overflow, it serves up the buffer overflow as content inside of a web page. When a person clicks the link, they become exploited.
Okay.
The exploit name that we're using is called IE, Internet Explorer, C generic element, UAF. UAF is use after free. Use after free. Use after free is a type of exploit. Just like yesterday, you learned there's multiple types of overflows. You learned stack. You haven't learned it before, but you learned the terminology. There's a stack overflow. There's an integer overflow. Another type of overflow is a use after free. It's another type of buffer overflow. Use after free buffer overflows are commonly found in browsers. Okay, so what we have here it says set exit on session equals false. When you do a buffer overflow and you compromise someone's machine, in Metasploit, that compromised victim, we call that a session. So if I email a link for people to click on, when they click the link and they get compromised, they become a session. If we say exit on session equals false, when the person clicks the link and becomes a session, we exit. We don't allow any more people to click the link. So, exit on session equals true. Exit, we don't allow any more people to click the link. In our case, we're going to have exit on session equals false because you want more people. Like if I send out 10 emails, I want as many people out of that 10 to click the link. Alright, the next part is the URI path. So it says set URI path. This is going to be what you see after the IP address. So it'll be http:// your IP address, and then it's going to say /IE8. And I only did that because it's a Internet Explorer 8 browser exploit. You don't need to do that. You can set it to whatever you want. Now our next piece is going to be the payload. Remember, the payload is what do you want to happen after the exploit actually takes place. After the exploit takes place, we want to run a payload that's for Windows, and we're going to use Metasploit's most famous component, and it's called Meterpreter, or as I heard some people call it, meter preter. I thought that was a good name. So you've got Meterpreter. Metasploit has its own command interpreter called Meterpreter. And what it is it's like a command prompt with way more features. Like, once you see Meterpreter, you'll never use a command prompt again. Like, it's just got so many features that a command prompt doesn't have. Now, because we need to anticipate that we're attacking somebody behind a firewall, here's, the attacker, here's the victim. You need to anticipate that the victim is behind a firewall. So, you need, if you want to have the attacker control the victim's machine needs to connect out to the attacker. This is the reason why we need a reverse TCP. So, once the browser exploit happens, for the attacker to have control of the victim needs to connect to the attacker with a reverse connection. And if you're going to have the victim connect to the attacker, then you need to set the L host, local host. In other words, the victim needs to know who to connect to. This makes sense, guys?
Makes sense.
Okay, now exploit-j just means run Metasploit's exploit in the background. That's all. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste all of this right into my browser, into my command prompt. Then I'll hit enter. Okay, so it's all set up now. You see now it tells you local IP. How many of you guys have this now?
It's still processing.
Okay, hit enter.
Yep, he's doing stuff. Still waiting.
Does it say server started below it?
Yes, and you had the hyperlink in there.
Okay, now that is the link that the victim clicks on.
Right.
Okay, so what we're doing, sorry here, okay. So what we're doing is right here, don't get the word local IP. Make sure that this with the colon 8080 is the same as this. What you're doing is you're simulating a victim clicking on your link. Okay, so us typing it in, we're pretending that we're clicking this link. That's what's happening right now. Okay, guys?
Got it.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to press enter right here. And you see that it goes nowhere. I'm not doing the Java update. Okay, and you see that my screen kind of goes nowhere.
Should
When
we
I
click
go
on it
through
too?
here in Metasploit, you see a whole bunch of stuff happening in Metasploit.
Mm-hmm.
Is that happening
Yep.
for you guys?
Yep.
Yes, sending.
Successful integrated to the process. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So let's go see if we can thumb through this. I'm scrolling up. Okay. And now you see that it says 192.168.10.132 IEC generic element UAF. Okay, that's the exploit. Okay, it made a request to IE8. That's the URI I set up earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then here it says, okay, that came from 132. That's my Windows 7 victim machine IP. Okay. Now, you see him say, right here, 132 again, IEC generic element, target selected as what, guys?
IE8 on Windows 7.
Yeah. So it figured out what the victim is, and then he was like, okay, now I know what he is. He's the correct target. Now I'm gonna send this malicious HTML code. You see?
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you remember what I said? When you want to save space, you send the exploit in what?
Stages?
That's right. So you see that he sends the stager. The stager begins and then calls the rest of the payload down.
Mine is stopped right there, actually, on Metasploit.
Okay, you don't have this part below it?
No.
Okay, if you don't have that, what you can do is you can go right back in here. Do you have it like this, where it's got like an error and all this stuff in front of it?
Oh, actually, I got a message, a prompt message. Internet Explorer has stopped working.
Okay.
Just closing it, open it again.
Yep, close it, open it again.
Okay. I guess it's shutting down. Yep. Yeah, it's closing. It's just taking a little while.
No problem, buddy.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I got. Yep.
Okay.
I have what you have on the
like
screen.
that now?
Yep.
Okay, here's what you can do. Grab this right at the HTTP
Uh-huh.
and delete all of it.
Okay.
Okay? So you just delete all of it.
Got it.
There you go. And then just rerun it. Just hit enter one more time.
Here we go.
Okay?
Now I see more stuff in Metasploit now.
Okay, so do you see down here where it says Meterpreter session open?
Yep. ID session ID 4. Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Now it's going to tell you your Linux IP.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's going to have your Windows 7 IP. You see all that?
Yep. See that?
And then here it'll have the date and timestamp of when the attack happened. You see?
Yep.
After that, he's going to give you the session ID information, and he's going to say your session ID is processing an initial auto run script.
Correct. Yep.
The initial auto run script is going to be migrate-f.
Yep.
So the migrate-f is going to say, okay, I'm currently inside of process iExplore.exe. iExplore.exe is Internet Explorer. But then it says spawning Notepad. Now what it's doing is it's spawning a hidden process of Notepad. If I jump to my Windows machine, you don't see Notepad open. But if you open up Task Manager, go to Processes, you'll see Notepad is here. Now the reason that they
There it is.
Now the reason that they do that is because sometimes the victim, like if you look at the victim Windows machine, you see how the browser looks funny?
Mm-hmm.
Right? The browser's returning an error page. If the victim were to close the link, you may, as the attacker, lose your session. So what we try to do is we try to spawn Notepad and migrate the control from Internet Explorer to notepad.exe in case the victim closes the browser. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Because it's highly likely, like if you look at this, you can definitely understand why somebody might close the browser, right?
Mm-hmm.
After clicking a link like that.
Yep.
Okay, now what I want you guys to do is just hit enter a few times.
Yep.
Okay, so you hit enter a few times. Go ahead and type clear. Okay, after you type clear, go ahead and type back.
Nice.
Okay, now what we want to do is in the paste bin, we're going to be down here on line 822. So you want to list your sessions. You list your sessions by typing sessions, plural, space dash L.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you do that, do you see your sessions listed?
Yes.
Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to interact with the session. So you're going to say sessions, and you're going to change it to a dash I for interact, space the session number you want to interact with. So sessions, space dash I, 1. Or whatever number your session ID is. Like mine's 1 in this case, but if I wanted to interact with session ID 2, I would say 2.
Yeah.
Okay?
I have like a 4th session. What does that mean? Like I can interact with any of them, or?
Yeah, you can interact with any of them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have to pop out of one and jump to another, say background, it pops out of it, and then you can sessions dash I 2. Okay? Now, in this case, it's just a little issue with VMware. It causes the machine to get exploited multiple times. But, you know, this would be, the way this would be in the real world, let's say you email the link to 10 people, 3 people click the link, you'd have 3 sessions.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay? Alright, now I want you to do Control L. Control L is in Lincoln. What does that do?
I always go back to close it. No.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, so now, you have now successfully compromised the machine. What I want you guys to do is look on line 841. You see how on 839 it says you need to what? What does it say you need to do?
Who and where you are. Mm.
When you get someone to click on a link, you don't know where they are.
Mm.
They could be at a Starbucks. They could be at their home connected to the VPN. They could be anywhere, right? So they could be reading it on their home computer, reading it on a friend's computer. You don't know what you're on.
Mm-hmm.
So our very first command is going to be sys info. Try it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's your next command?
Get UID.
Get user ID.
Try it.
Oh. Wow.
Okay, what's your next command?
IP config.
Okay, now these are pretty easy, right? Get UID, right? So you can figure out what user you're logged in as, IP config. This stuff is pretty easy. But now, check out line 850. What can you do with that? What is that doing?
Oh, the type of, okay. You gather the check okay, you check the system, what's they running and why you're running.
After you do exploitation, we call it post-exploitation. That's what you're doing right now. You have broken into the machine. This is called post-exploitation. So you're going to run a post module. The post module that you're doing is made to run on what?
Windows.
It's a tool that gathers information. And what you're trying to figure out is what?
Check the VM.
Am I on a virtual machine? So what this does is you may be in a situation where you want to know, am I on a virtual machine or not? Right? Because sometimes a virtual machine can mean that you're in a honeypot. Sometimes a virtual machine can mean that they are a, oh God, I'm getting old. I'm getting old. Anyways, it just means they're a virtual environment. VDI. Oh my God. We'll never get old, guys. Woo.
Oh, that the Oracle virtual machine?
Right. Now, you notice how this one, it says it's what?
Anywhere.
Okay. Now, we just ran this module, right? Show you a little trick. Okay? You don't need to do this, but this is just to kind of think about what we learned yesterday. Okay, this sucker's called check VM. Okay, so if I look at the code for this, I'm going to look at the code for this. Let's see if we can handle it. Line 6 to 8, he's got the require for the modules, right? Okay. So it says, okay, require MSF core, require Rex, require core auxiliary what?
Report.
Okay. He's going to build a what?
Class.
And inside of that class, Metasploit 3, he wants to put what in it?
MSF also.
Okay. All right. Now he wants to include a few features into this, right? So he's going to include MSF, post, what?
Windows registry.
Okay, and?
Auxiliary report.
Okay, now the initialize just gives you the metadata. You're going to see this in almost all of the scripts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is just a way that he can say, hey, here's the name of it. See?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the description. Okay, the license, the author.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we get down in here, you already saw your modules, then you saw your class. Do you remember what this is?
The method?
There you go. So he creates a method, and it's called what?
Hyper-V check. Oh, that's a session.
Okay. So he wants Hyper-V check against the current session.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, okay, let me create a variable called VM. Right now, VM is what?
False.
Okay. So he creates this thing called SFMS vals and says, okay, I'm going to go registry enum keys. I'm going to look in what?
That's the restaurant, right? It's his software, Microsoft.
Okay. And then he says, if SFMS vals and SFMS vals.include, if it has the word what?
Hyper-V.
So he's looking in this registry key to see if I see this word Hyper-V.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do, set VM to what?
True.
So he says, okay, well, if I don't see that, else if, look in the same registry key and look for what?
Virtual machine.
If I see that, set VM to?
True.
Okay, and if not, still no VM, then if registry get valid data, I'm going to look here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I see system BIOS version, right? If I see it there, then I'm going to say the VM is
True.
okay. So in all these cases, he's just got a huge list of registry keys, huh?
Mm.
You see it?
Right.
VMIC heartbeat, VMIC VSS, VMIC shutdown, VMIC exchange. Just a ton of these. And then if it says that, if VM ever becomes true, right, you're going to report this host.hypervisor. The hypervisor is what?
MS Hyper. Okay. Microsoft Hyper-V. Yeah.
Yeah. Then print status. This is what's going to print to the screen. You see?
Yep.
Now, are you ready for the crazy one? Look at the VMware one.
Gee.
What is it?
There's a different, what? Types? Oh, no. Debug, VM development tools. Okay, that's the type of services that is running?
No, my friend. It's the exact same method.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, if I check. Yay.
Only thing he did is he just says, okay, well, for VMware, I look at these registry keys.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, let's do something crazy. Let's check for VirtualBox.
Wow.
Are you starting to see?
Mm-hmm.
So, the reason I spent so much time yesterday, and I know I'm sorry, I spent a lot of time yesterday trying to get you to walk through learning like some basic Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because if you really want to get in and start tuning Metasploit, you want to run something when you practice it, then you want to go look at the source code for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because when it comes time to write your own, the way that you write your own is you take one that works, that does something close to what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You copy it, and then you change the code inside of it to do what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So maybe you have a particular piece of software in your environment that you want to check the version of it on your penetration test.
Mm-hmm.
And you find that it uses these particular registry keys or these particular processes. So you just copy this script and swap out the registry key names or the process names. Change the method names, and then what? You're done.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And in all honesty, Metasploit scripting was intentionally designed to be that way. The reason is because they want a very fast learning curve.
Mm.
Okay? Alright, now we got one more that we want to run. Okay, what's our next one called?
Your local subnets.
Uh-huh. So you go ahead and run that. Okay, now what he's going to show you is if your route table has more networks. In my case, my route table only has this one network. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we looked at that yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah.
And that was the one that had the remove the 224, remove all the 255, 255, 255s, remember?
Yeah.
We looked at that yesterday. Alright. I think we did good, guys. Let's take a quick break. 15, okay?
Sounds good. Yeah. Excellent. Good stuff.
Okay.
We're going to come back and we're going to keep going through exploitation, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
Yep.